Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back. I am EBINOTTI, and today we are doing the 11/11 portal reading. So we are currently in New Moon Scorpio. We are in Scorpio season. We are halfway through Scorpio season. It is full swing, baby. This is the peak of Scorpio season. And it's been, if you can tell, can you tell? I'm like out of breath and we just started. So a little bit of a heightened energy, a little bit of that kind of tension coming into it. I have not been feeling my best lately. So if you can relate to just being ill or really tired, sleep is either happening all the time, crazy amounts of sleep right now, or not at all. There's a little bit of that insomnia, the racing thoughts stuck in the mind. Sometimes it's not even the mind, it's just the body, and we can't sleep. So that's me personally, struggling with the illness and the sleep. But babe is on a 10-12 hours a night sleep schedule for the last 2-3 days especially. So we crossed into Scorpio season about 2 weeks ago. The new moon was about a week ago. So we're in the middle of it, in the thick of it. And the full moon Gemini is right around the corner. And for some of us, myself, for some of us, it's really here. The new moon Gemini, that energy of the full culmination from the new moon Gemini all the way back in Gemini season. Now we have this full moon Gemini, and for some of us, Gemini is a big one. If you relate to the twin flame journey, you see the lovers on the wall there. If you relate to the twin flame journey, you've got some interesting Gemini placements in your birth chart. So astrologically, where the planets were when you were blooped into this existence, that's your birth chart. That stuff can be very relevant. And if you want to know a little bit more about your personality, your character, your internal stuff, the stuff that you didn't get any free will in deciding on, when and where you were born, who you were born to, you can look to your birth chart. This is definitely one of those. See, I'm a Pisces. If y'all are new here, hey, I'm EBINOTTI. I'm Canadian. I'm in northwestern British Columbia, Canada, way the fuck up in the mountains, and we're feeling it. Whoa, me and all my people, everyone I'm connected to, everybody around me, we can feel it. It is that season for us. Scorpio, we don't fuck around with Scorpio season, okay? So it's death and rebirth, transformation. I mean, the twins, when you bring the aspects of dark and light, our twinning natures into it, those polarities. If you don't know what your polarity is, so your zodiac sign, right? Your sun sign, like I'm a Pisces, your polarity, that's a real big part of it when it comes to Gemini, the twins, know thyself. Okay, they say your polarity is your weakness. I totally disagree. We've talked about that a lot. We're not going to talk about it today because today we are here to talk about the 11/11 portal. What is a portal, you ask? I'm so glad that you asked. A portal comes along many times throughout the year, which is why we don't discuss it too much. But now and then it pops up and it's relevant, whether the collective decides that it's relevant, like with the Lionsgate portal. We always do the 8/8 portal in August. Everybody loves that one. But here and now, the 11/11 portal, why is this one so relevant? Well, one, it's Scorpio season. So around this collective, the divine feminine, if you can hear baby, you just got up. Around this time, the Scorpio water element that we're all under is the underworld, the deeper subconscious emotions, thoughts, desires. There can be a lot of conflict in there. So by this time of the year, however you look at the calendar year, the divine feminine energy in all of us, not just females, can really be deep diving into those, subconscious feelings, thoughts, and desires. And it's those parts of ourselves that we keep really private, the parts that we keep really safe, close to the chest. Some of us total denial. We're just fully in the world of denial. I play that game a little bit, but I try not to live there. I don't think denial is a healthy place to be. I think being brave and courageous, and facing it down, whatever it is always the way to go. So timing is everything. Do what you can do in the moment. You know, we're allowed to have our seasons, like when you're sick or you break something like a leg or you don't really get a lot of say in what you're capable of physically once you have an ailment, or if you're ill, if you're just kind of emotionally and spiritually put out. We talk about that a lot, right? Even the emotional and spiritual wounding can be so heavy sometimes that we gotta pause all of the things that we would say that we wanted to do today or this week or this season even. Okay, so we're up in, like I said, Northern Canada on the West Coast, and we do 4 seasons up here, and we're all of us spiritually, physically prepping for winter. And that's just what it is. It's the season of death, hibernation. It's where everything in nature just goes dormant, goes real quiet like, and does that reset where it can come back stronger, hopefully stronger and healthier the next season, right? So harvest we're done, you know, harvest season is over. It's that deep frost season that we're all prepping for. So it's canning season, it's preserving season. Think about that for yourself personally. In the last year, what have you gone through? What have you built? What have you established or grown into or been inspired by that you want to really protect or solidify or preserve to last you throughout the winter, so that next season you either have that strong base to get going on the next crop, or, you know, you have that recovery, that healing that's needed during that dormant season, right? I think a lot of the divine feminines, the message is coming through pretty clearly. It's time to take care of the self emotionally and physically, especially in the physical world. We don't have to be perfect. Progress is better than perfection. That is a huge message. I've been saying that to myself for as long as I can remember, because I used to really struggle with finishing anything. It was like all of the energy, all of the inspiration was there right from the get. But as soon as we get into it and I could see the finish line, that was it. I was off of it. I didn't have the energy for it anymore. Maybe I overdid it in the kind of startup phase of any idea, and I couldn't maintain, right? So this message coming through about understanding what it's going to take to maintain, to go through the winter season with what we've got. Because at this point, what you got in terms of the harvest, that's all you got. There's no more to be grown. It's like whether you flopped or you had a great season, it's done now, and we need to move forward with what we have. So for all of us entrepreneurs out there, that's a big message. You cannot do anything more about what's already been done, what's already been created. Now is the time that you either preserve it or let it die out with the old. You know, it's kind of that, you don't want to be too materialistic about it and just kind of like get rid of a bunch of stuff because you're sick of seeing it. I mean, these are important things that we need sometimes, but on the other hand, you gotta remove now and try. You can't just, again, that denial energy coming up, just to be like, you cannot be in denial of the things that failed, quote unquote, failed over the season, the things that rotted, got pests, you know, did not produce the way that you were expecting them to produce. So it's a time for taking notes. You know, the fall season, there's a lot of work to be done. We don't necessarily have that kind of time right now, but as we move into winter, there is the time. Okay, I'm getting this really like annoyed message of the way that they try to program us to act a certain way for each season, where realistically the opposite of what they're like. Because if you think about the holiday season, like think of the Grinch, right? I love like the Jim Carrey Grinch, all the Grinch movies, but the Jim Carrey one especially, where they show the chaos of Christmas. It's like the Who's are just fucking they're all over the place, you know? They're here, there, up, down, left, right, presents, wrapping all this stuff. And it's like, okay, so they want us to be like bright lights and shiny silky ribbons and all the excess. So up, when realistically all of nature is doing the opposite of that. It's going down. The leaves fall, and then everything sucks up, and then everything gets ready, and then the frost comes, and it's like, boom, game. It's over, you know? So if you're feeling the need to slow down a little bit in this season, just know that at least for my opinion, that is the rational thing to do, is to slow down. You can still produce, you can still function, you can still get through your life. But especially like when I was in fashion school and I worked retail, the retail industry, if you know, holy fuck, you know, the only thing that I did more and is 10 times worse in my opinion is the restaurant bar industry over the holidays, you know. But that kind of up can be really positive. It's a social up. In some way it is slowing down, unless you're going like clubbing and raving and fucking glow foam parties. That's a little crazy over the winter. You might want to go southern hemisphere where that's their vibe, because it's summertime over there, you know. So your natural cycle is yours. You're allowed to have it. You're allowed to feel however you feel. If it's not natural, given your circumstances, your environment, your location on the planet, all of that, you might need to switch up. This might be the sign that next year, or next year this time, you don't want to be in that kind of place where everything slows down. You want to be in a place where it kicks up a bit, whatever the message be. Okay, there's a lot of kind of career stuff coming into that, and lifestyle, like the location idea. It's like, am I on the right place on the planet for my well-being, or am I just here because it was like my circumstance? I ended up here, I went to school here, my family's from here, this is where I've been since the pandemic, 11/11 on the clock. I love that I saw that and I wasn't looking for it. So the fun stuff about portals, I didn't really explain what a portal was, but I'll go back to that now. On the same number day as the month, 11th month, 11th day. It's simple as that. Numerology, they typically break down to a single digit. So 1 and 1 for 11 would always be a 2, but they call like these double digits 11, 22, 44, 33, stuff like that. They call it master numbers because you have the doubling, the pairing, the twinning of that energy. So we don't break that down to a single digit. We leave that as what it is. 11 is a master number. So you know, what goes on in Scorpio season, other than the 11/11 portal and other, you know, strong energy shifts, especially with Scorpio, we can talk about a portal as being a shift. It's not just an opportunity, it's a forced shift. You know what I mean? It's like everybody is forced to accept fall, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, the changing of the seasons, because by this point, you got to have your winters on. You know, everything is dead in your garden. If you didn't do that work, you didn't do it. You know what I mean? But it's like, you don't get to choose with it. That's part of creation, right? We don't get to choose that. So this kind of an energy shift, you can work with it, or you can accept what it's doing to you or what you're going through, which is kind of where I'm at. If you're sick or anything right now, you don't get a lot of say in the what, you know, you'd like to create with that energy. It's more like, you know, you're creating healing and balance and realignment and that centering energy, because that's, you can't do shit without that, right? If you're from EBINOTTI and you've been here for a while, you know you can't do shit without alignment. That's, we focus more than anything on alignment. Little Alvin the chipmunk just went flying up the, he's not a chipmunk, he's a squirrel, but he just went flying up the tree. If you don't know, there's beautiful trees right outside the window here where you guys are situated. So if you see me jerk around, I'm just being aware and checking out the neighborhood. I love it back here. This is where we always do the readings, and it's such a vibe. So definitely feeling like Scorpio season. When you look around, it's like, oh, there's water everywhere. My mom will be like, oh, fuck the water. You know, it's coming in the basement. It's pipes breaking in the walls, like these old houses. And this season has that like, oh, fuck the water, you know? So again, break a toe, end up sick, pipes burst in your house. It's the natural progression of things. You got to just roll with it, right? The karmic cycle, you can pray, you can meditate, you can do self-help to discover it, or you could just go with roll with the punches, baby, because sometimes that's how she goes. I haven't sat down for a video in a while, and I wanted to really badly, and I'm like, oh, let me go shower, let me fix my hair, let me put on a fit, maybe I'll do some makeup. It's been so long since you guys have seen my face with like my full beat or like any beat. This is raw dogging it, baby. It's been a long time, and I just thought, fuck, if I try to do all that to sit down for a video, we're not going to sit down for the video. And it's been a while since I've been called. I've been going through my own, you know, my own alignments and activations, and it's been rough, man. Holy, it's been rough. in the most inspiring and incredible ways. And I want you to really hear that. I want you to hear that even though in so many ways I, want to and need to be performing better than I am, the amount of progress that's being made, internally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, the strength that's developing and the understandings and the things clicking into place. Like if I wasn't taking the time to do that, that wouldn't be happening the way it's happening. Everything would still work and it would still, get there eventually. But the way things are progressing right now, it's like, whoa. It's definitely one of those fated kind of meant to be seasons. And I realized looking back on my life, the patterns of these seasons, whether I pay attention to them or not, it's like, this is my season of reflection and recovery. And I do that. I prefer to do that. Keeping my hands busy. So it would be a great season for preserving hobbies, canning. Like we just had the Christmas craft fair up here a little bit early, in my opinion, because we didn't wait for this day in Canada, which is Remembrance Day. So remembering all of the, not just the veterans, but remembering historically the wars and, with the idea of healing right now and spending time on, useless things, wasting time, our hobbies, painting, talking with each other, being with each other, like in non-eventful ways, in absolutely useless ways. It's like, this is what life is really about, though. It's about being there for each other, caring, growing, understanding, learning, and all of the things, right? So it gets pretty heavy and it gets pretty serious around this season when we do start reflecting on our art, the things that we came here to create in whatever big or small ways that is. I've been an artist all my life. I can't remember a time where I wasn't trying to create something that I had envisioned. So I think the more we lean into that right now, the faster we grow. But especially in the corporate world, in the ambitious, entrepreneurial, like $10,000 day kind of world, right? We shoot for these incredible achievements and we don't necessarily appreciate or focus on the other types of achievements because on the day that you die, it doesn't matter any of your physical possession, be it money, legacy, heritage. You don't even get a say anymore, right? Like you could have done the perfect will and all the things so that you made sure every single asset was accounted for and where it was going to go and who was going to get it. But the second you tap out, that's over, so the legacy, I think that we're really focused on is still important, right? Like we still want to leave physical things, beautiful things, generational wealth, and all the wonderful things behind, including art and culture and food, college funds, all the things. On the other side of it, we want our people that are left behind, be it our own children and our own bloodline, or the people that we were here helping, focusing on and developing like we would our own children, putting in that kind of effort into a specific industry is focusing on people, right? So we want to leave behind that impact, that influence, that supporting nature, that, that kind word, that loyalty, that friendship. And if we don't ever spend time on that because we're so focused on what they want us focused on, right? Which is getting that dollar, making that money. And you see how they keep squeezing there? They keep squeezing to make sure that even when it was easy for a second, it's not easy now because they saw it the once and they're like, whoop, and they just narrow that enough. So it takes more. It takes more from you every time you try to do it. You know what I mean? To make that dollar, to hit that number, to get that achievement, that physical achievement, it takes more from you, from your people, your heart space, the time you have. So again, that message of real wealth looks a lot more like poverty in the beginning than it does like prosperity. And that's because you have to understand at your core what you value and what that money is about, right? Like you can get money from, let's just call it either side. Okay, you can get money from either side, but what you do with that money and the quality of life and what you leave behind because of that money, not what money you leave behind, what you leave behind because of that money, what it took you to get that money, how it made you, how it changed you. Do you see what I'm saying? So we got to be really focused, because in a lot of ways we've been distracted and we've played the dark and light, and a lot of the wealth needed to be removed because it wasn't created or received from necessarily where it's going to be received from now. So there's a big shift coming in Scorpio season. You're probably going through it again if you've been sleeping like 10, 12-hour nights or not sleeping at all. That's the frequency. That's the activation that's going on for the collective right now. Okay. So 1111 portal. Wow. A lot of reflection energy. I got the Four of Swords coming up real strong in my brainstem. We're going to have a smoke before we get into the cards. Again, if you're new, we do oracle cards first and then we do our tarot spread. Personal readings are still available from me. If you ever get turned down for a reading, like straight up, I apologize ahead of time. It's just, I've got a lot on the go. As I start to shake a little bit, that's not a coffee shake or anything that's like, ooh, a frequency shake. Okay, so I love doing personal readings. It's one of my favorite things, but it's a lot of energy, right? Think of sitting there with somebody you really care about, or even a therapist. You have to like book a whole appointment for that. It's a lot. It's a lot that comes up, right? So one, that's why they cost what they cost. And I am trying to put in a huge discount for the entire winter season. So if you've been wanting a reading and it's like a little out of your price range, babes, one, you can always tell me a story and I'd be more than happy to help you no matter what. That's why I sit here for free and do this as much as I do, because I just want to help, right? But two, keep an eye out for discounts. Keep an eye out for other ways to get in on a personal reading if that's really what you're looking for. And otherwise, personally do the work yourself. That's what the self-help thing is all about. You can find people in your real life that are super into it, or you can sit here with yourself every day. And I am here to support you. And so is the entire collective that shows up for this. Even way back when it was just like, you know, my mom or my friend that I sent it to and was like, please watch this reading, even when it was just them, you know, watching the readings that we all give to this energy, you know, the people that are here. And you don't have to want to give, you don't have to become a channel and be like all, you know, blood mixing, and don't worry about anything like that, you know. Just keep it where you need it to be and know that this is like pure and from the heart, and there's only more coming from me, not less, when it comes to giving and being there. Okay, so reach out if you want the one-on-one readings. If you have any questions, you want to link up, you got to create the idea, you got a question. The comments section on any of my readings or any of my socials is great for questions. I can hit that real quick. Like the emails, the DMs and stuff like that take a little bit longer because they can pile up sometimes and I'm not always there. 24/7. Again, got a lot on the go, right? So just reach out if you got anything, okay? I'm pretty open to connecting in that way. What else was I gonna say? All my decks and stuff, my entire collection is listed, linked, yada yada, down below. And we do still have the Divine Feminine Alignment program coming, but it didn't get launched in the summertime. So I'm hoping to launch it in the spring. The beginning of a new year, even February, as early as February would be really fun. One of my favorite readers here on YouTube, Queen Cup Tarot. She's also Canadian. I think she's in Jamaica right now though. She just relocated to Jamaica, but she's also Canadian. She does retreats starting in February down in Jamaica. So it'd be a good time to launch my program and keep an eye on how the retreats are going. And I can't wait to go to some of these spiritual retreats that people hold. I feel like it's a great way to travel to certain locations if you're into that whole kind of thing, right? You gotta vibe with the tribe, I think, but it would still be fun. I just thought of something so funny. So I'll link her latest reading down below in the description box as well if I can remember to do that. If I forget anything in the description box, again, please just leave the comment. And I would be happy to fill it in, send you the link, whatever you like, okay? So cheers to you. I'm having a little coffee here. I'm drinking my purely toxic Nescafe, sweet and creamy, baby. It is what it is, you know. I highly recommend better. Oh, you know what I'm on to right now? We're just gonna bleep this in as a little commercial before we get into the reading, but cashew milk. Have you ever tried making your own cashew? I've never even tried cashew milk, and then I decided to make my own cashew milk at home because I was on TikTok and I found a recipe. Actually, this one girl, Ebby Moyer, EBBY Moyer, MOYER on TikTok. Oh, she just got the most lovely vibe on being just a woman and, you know, just living, balancing, feeding, eating, all the things. So I jack her recipes all the time, and I tried the cashew milk recipe and I'm super impressed. Not only do I drink a big glass of it every day, I'm trying to make like a coffee creamer to go into real coffee, which I'm fucking struggling with. I should have never started the Nescafes, you know? Because now, and it comes off of that fake creamer, the International Delight coffee creamer, French vanilla for years, baby, for years. And then I heard about the oil, that it's not even a dairy product, right? It's based in oil and yada. And then I could really taste the oil. It like fucked me mentally a little bit. So then I had to get off of it. And I switched flavors to caramel macchiato. And that one was like, okay, that's it. That's my favorite. I couldn't even drink the French vanilla one anymore. And then, of course, because when you start to like spiritually align and stuff, all this shit that you used to love, say goodbye, darling. It goes out the fucking window, and it's so sad. But at the same time, it's like, are you mad about it? No. When it becomes easy to not do things that are destroying your body, nothing but gratitude, baby. Nothing but gratitude. Even if I can't quite get my coffee game back on point, because now I'm on the Nescafes, and like, don't tell me that's better, because it's not. The coffee's fake, the cream is fake, and the sugar's fake. Fuck, like that's, if you're naturally an ectomorph like myself, that's not gonna help, which is like a hard gainer. We're always skinny, it's hard to gain weight, and you skip a meal, you lose 5 pounds, that kind of a body type. Yeah, you don't need caffeine, period. But fuck that, you know, we do drugs, we like it. So caffeine, excuse me, fake cream, fake sugar, those are the worst combination of things. And I'll drink like 6 of them a day. Like, ooh, not good. So trying to switch it back to fresh ground beans, real cream. Love that dairy, love that fat, about that life. Grew up on milk, can't help it. It's my favorite thing to drink. And then some real sugar. I make my own vanilla extract now. I make dulce de leche out of condensed milk. And I'm trying to work out a coffee creamer. If you're about that life, follow me on Instagram, also Facebook, because I have a Facebook page too where I love to share like videos and stuff. But Instagram is where you're going to find more of the content that's like recipes, shorts, da-da-da-da. And always with EBINOTTI, there are 2 brands. There's the EBINOTTI Official, and then there's Beauty, EBINOTTI Beauty. Okay, I haven't really decided where we're putting recipes and stuff, but I'm thinking on the beauty channel, because that's more like vlog content, and it's not just makeup tutorials, it's like skincare, self-care, my workout routines, my morning shots, my recipes. It's gonna have to be the lifestyle beauty blog soon. So lots of focus on health, whatever that means for us. It does not need to be diet, exercise. You know, you want to stick to the classics here. Make sure you're doing at least, you know, 1 to 3 really healthy things every single day for yourself, you know, regardless of the abuse or the shit that you handle, that you put yourself through, whatever it is. Just make sure you're adding healthy routines instead of focusing on removing all of the bad things. I mean, do what is the most strong and aligned for you, but if you cannot remove the things, at least add the good things, okay? Do your best to pivot. We love the pivot. Scorpio season, is it pivot season? No, but it is definitely fucking swerve season. Like, catch me exiting stage left. Because this is the season where you cannot fuck around with your energy. You just cannot. You have to be really, really careful, really careful. the type of drama that you let yourself get involved with, be it the elections, your girlfriend, her husband, whatever. Look, you got to be super, super protective of your energy right now, because there are innocents around you that rely on that. What does that mean? Whether you have kids or not, as a feminine, you will always be, to some degree, a fucking role model, okay? Because we're visually seen at all times. It's an instant gut reaction that people either look at you and they want to be you, they want to be like you, have you, or they don't. And that can be simple attraction or, you know, the repel when it comes to it. And it's not about, you know, showing up looking perfect, but it is about internally being more than grounded. Actually, I was watching the latest video from Bomi Spirit, Body, Mind, Spirit, BOMI Spirit, Bomi Spirit, here on YouTube. Check her out if you are not already subscribed, okay? She's a tarot reader based in astrology, so she does her astrology thing. And she was talking about when we're grounded, like when we're focusing on, oh, get grounded. I was thinking about that while I was doing my dishes for like a full hour, and it was like, I talk a lot about getting grounded, but it's because, and I say this all the time, my biggest challenge element is air. Is it not obvious? The throat chakra, the third eye, fucking air, you know, like everything from the heart and the lungs all wrapped up together in the chest, up to the throat, the mouth, the third eye. Okay, this is the frontal fucking cortex. This is everything. I'm an academic. I fucking love it. I'm spiritual. I can't help but imagine and envision and all of the things. But the reason I talk about getting grounded is because of that need for balance. It's like, whoa, you need to bring it way back down. You're not even paying attention to the body. And that is never a good idea. It's the vessel. It is the compass. It is it is your chariot, okay? And you need to pay attention to what it's saying to you, because it's saying everything to you in whatever language you will comprehend it. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a fucking guru. You can understand what your body's saying if you just get out of your own way, okay? So getting grounded. The problem is that when people are not in need of that balance, then they're focusing on the lower chakras. Do you know how bad of an idea that is? Like, do you know how fucking bad of an idea? I need to get grounded because I never live in the lower chakras. Fear, guilt, and shame, baby. That's the dark side of the lower chakras, or the out of balance, the emotional turmoil of the lower chakras. I don't live in fear. I don't live in guilt, and I don't live in shame. I fucking sort that shit out and get right back to the heart. I'm a Pisces. I'll live in the heart. And I struggle, which is why when we get up there, it gets real choppy for me, if you've been around. Okay, so grounded. Do we get grounded? Sure, you could focus on that, but going into the season of death and rebirth, going into winter, living in Scorpio season, let's not even talk about where we're going. Let's talk about where the fuck we are. 11/11 portal. Shit, we're in Scorpio season. It's rocky. You don't want to be focused on grounding unless that's your personal need. As a collective right now, we can focus on alignment. Okay? Call it centering. That's what Bomi Spirit was talking about, centering. I call it alignment now. Because when it comes to finding your center, I had to understand the whole chain to get there consciously when I wasn't there physically, mentally, emotionally, okay? So it's taking a little bit of control, you know, it's discipline. Look at this like martial fucking arts, like the military. This is academic now. This is regimented, scheduled, consistent. You don't give up. You push through the hard seasons, the hard days, because this is alignment. Okay, this is the real shit. So I think it's a really important thing to focus on as we go into winter is alignment, making sure that we are set up by the time the winter solstice comes, okay? So fall equinox passed us in end of September as we got into Libra season. And we sorted out all that justice feeling, and then we crossed into Scorpio. So if you need to go back a little bit, go back. There aren't moon readings up on the channel, but you can go back and understand. There's a lot of other readers too. I've watched a ton of content. Again, that Facebook channel for EBINOTTI, or Facebook page for EBINOTTI, I share a lot of the stuff that I watch that I think the collective would be interested in or gain something from, okay? So all in all, it's worth focusing on the alignment. Activation will come later for a lot of us. During our death season of winter, we're going to have activations, okay? Because it's been a long time, because we've been focused on corporate instead of spirit. There's been imbalances on our focus, and because of that, things need to go. Things need to change, and this is the season of that change, okay? Sagittarius season coming next, so November 22nd. I always read it on the 22nd. November 22nd, we get the full shift into Sagittarius, where you get the Archer energy, so you can get that kickstart into next season if you want to. You know, the Archer energy is a great fire, passion energy to get some research done, to outline anything that you want to, you know, to toss around them brainstorms, do mind groups, you know, like reach out to people, collaborate, not now, but start the process, you know, shoot out all those ideas. That's what Sag does. The Minotaur shoots out, or the Centaur shoots out all of those fucking pew, pew, pew arrows, right? And doesn't hesitate. Fire doesn't hesitate, because by the time that fire activation happens, there should be no need to hesitate. It should be just executing efficiently. So that's, we're gonna take the time, okay? That's the key. That's why it's also research season. You don't have to be shooting shit off except for question to receive back those answers by the spring, by the time it matters to take action. Okay, you see how fire can be the energy to get research and information and processing done, and it can also be action. It's got to be one or the other, though. You can't do both. So you have to kind of choose if you get a choice this season, or lean into the season. Cheers to you. It's been a while, so it's so great to see you, whoever's here for it. Cheers to you. We're gonna pick our cards now and get into this reading. We're a little nervous. We're a little nervous because, you know, there's a lot of energy out there. There's a lot of people doing a lot of shit actively in our collectives, regardless where you are on the planet. Okay, check out your ley lines if you don't know nothing about the ley lines. The rain is just a pounding out there. Okay, let me just get myself organized here. We're gonna start with the Crystal Oracle deck and see what comes up for the collective. My finger got a little. The body needs to heal, need to recover. Please take the time to do so. Okay, your body's trying to tell you what it needs you to do. Pay attention. Indeed. Pay attention. So, what are you watching? You know, cinema. We love cinema around here. I am back to beep beep beep. The Dragon Prince, Mystery of Erebos. I always want to say Averos. Don't ask why, it's Erebos. Dragon Prince, it's a cartoon kids show. I definitely would not let kids at the age of 7. I think it says 7 years and up on that show. Fuck no. But after 11 or so, it's like, with the right guidance, they need to know. And it's a great show. So back to Mystery of Erebos. I also watched a show called The Society. Do you know that one? It was only 1 season. And it was really interesting, and I love the sort of apocalyptic, survival-esque end of the world stuff, because me and Zach just finished The Walking Dead. All 11 seasons. We both had to really drudge our way through the final however many seasons, because we both saw it when it came out, but I never got past like season 2 when it first came out. and I think he went to 6 or something. So we made it through The Walking Dead, and in that whole, I was telling a friend, oh, we're watching The Walking Dead, and she's like, oh, have you seen The Society on Netflix? Check it out. There's only 1 season. It got canceled. There were some really familiar faces in it, so that was nice. It wasn't like B grade, if you know what I mean. It was an interesting little show, and by the end of it, she was just like my friend told me. Cheyenne, what up? Shout out to you if you watch this reading, because I watched it, and you're right, by the end there is no closure, and that's very frustrating sometimes, but it's worth a watch. Like, I saw it when it first came out and I didn't watch it, so you know, it's kind of our fault if shows don't get picked up for another season. We've got 1 card popping out, so I want to just look at it. Danbarite with Spirit. I love the big star energy coming in there. Shout out to Spirit for that. Okay, let's get into this. Tell me what you're watching down below, why you loved it, and why it's doing the most for you right now. The Dragon Prince one is doing the most for me and starting to understand the dark and light of all magic and really getting what I'm comfortable with and what I'm no longer going to be putting energy into or attaching myself to or calling myself a part of. So watching kids shows and processing a lot of the things that, whether it's kids shows from your era or kids shows today, you can really get in there and kind of process some of the how you became what you are and why you believe the things you believe, and maybe glamorize some things that you don't really feel that lovely or loving towards anymore, and you need to kind of dig that one out a little bit. It's like, why did I ever glamorize casual sex or, you know, alcohol or this, that, the other, you know? Okay, bottom of the deck, Manifest Light with Hematite. Love me some Hematite. We do not read this crystal oracle deck, so you can go out and buy crystals. I do love crystals. I just put my, let's see if I can show you. I just put my Hematite and Amethyst bracelet on right before we sat down to get into it. So, you know, tis what it is. With this one coming out first, Manifest Light, create. Manifest is either an attraction or, you know, an output. It's an input or an output. You give or you receive when you manifest. It could be either way. Light, make it light, both ways, okay? And that's kind of what that message about the Dragon Prince is about. That's the most that I'm getting out of it, is understanding where for me it feels light and for me it feels dark. And just learning to stay in my lane with my magic. So again, the programs and stuff coming out, they're coming out shortly, as quickly as we can possibly put them out. I am collaborating, co-creating with the Happy Healer, or Divine Sophia, if you know her from TikTok. She's also Canadian. She's coming back to Canada very, very soon, which I'm excited. She was down closer to the equator for the last little while here, but she's coming on back, and we're doing a program. The first, like the intro to the program is already out, where you can get a good feel for what's going to be in the program. Super affordable program. If you want to understand tarot, if you like tarot, getting tarot readings, whether you want to learn to read cards or not. If you're curious about the history of tarot, is it satanic? Where did it come from? Who invented it? Crowley? What? You know, if you have any of those questions, I highly recommend the program. And if you want to learn to read tarot, it's a 4-hour program. We guarantee you could read by the end of it. So that's that, my babies. Again, that will be linked down below. If I forget the link, again, the Facebook page for EBINOTTI, you can find all that good stuff. I will link, how could I forget this? I'm so sorry, my people. I will link down below the intro video for the Tarot Basics program with myself and Syrena ASAP. That'll be right at the top of the description box. You open the description box right below this video and you'll be able to see that link, and that is a free video. You can just go check that out. It's about an hour long and get a good feel or intro for the program. Okay, wow. Did you hear what I said about my bracelet being hematite and amethyst? Because both of our bottoms of the deck to start and now for the reading itself, because we've got our card, or my bracelet. Okay, that's like so my grandfather Every time I think amethyst, I think of my ancestors. I think of my bloodline. I think of my grandfather. The divine connection, the ancestors, the guardian angels, all of the beings of light that work with you, protect you, align for you, with you. That's a message that they're here for you, that you are very well protected, that you are on track, regardless, even if it's like you're all wonky and you took a Route 67 and you weren't supposed to, and now you're down some 13 weirdness. Okay, our card for the it was probably the funniest noise. Our card for the reading, representing growth, is aventurine. I always wanted to read this like adventurine, but it's not. It's aventurine. So, woo! Not only do we have the Fae energy coming out here and the butterfly wings, very clearly butterfly wings of transformation in Scorpio season. This is about growth. Okay, green is all heart, baby. Green and pink, especially green, that's all heart chakra. So let that manifesting light, whether you're healing or you're creating, let that heart space take over. Let it be all in alignment. The growth for some of us, oh my God, I can feel them growing pains, baby. Do you remember how bad growing pains were? Like, I'm tall, I'm 5'7". That's average, but like, dude, most people are not 5'7". Like, I swear they're just not. I'm tall, and there are like tall, like my girlfriend I was talking about coming back, she's even taller. She's like six feet. Do you remember the growing pains as a child? Have you ever given birth? Growth of new life? Huh? We are talking pain here, baby. We are talking next level, out of your fucking mind, natural chemical factory to handle, only in the female body. Okay, let's talk about the real feminine for a second. The real feminine, the womb and all that of creation. The hardest drugs on the planet, biggest pain on the planet. Okay? That's where we're at. That's what we're. No wonder the ancestors are here. I was just thinking, I was envisioning giving birth I don't have any kids. I didn't have any plan on having kids. Now, who knows? But I never planned on having kids, and now I can perfectly visualize giving birth. My mom was there. The ancestors were there. It was so spiritual. It was just this incredibly spiritual moment of growing and birthing life. So nothing is bigger than that. That is the message. Keep that in mind, because that's the message for you. Nothing is bigger, than this season, this moment, what's coming next. And on that, I already know our next oracle deck. Before we get into the tarot, the dragon oracle. We're going to do dragon wisdom next, obviously. One of my favorite books of all time. It's a 4-book series called The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. He wrote the first book when he was 15, finished it when he was 28. You know what I mean? It's just fucking rocks my world. The first book is called Aragon, with an E. E-R-A, like an Aragon. No E on the end. That's all about them dragons, baby. I'm also, again, the dragon prince, you know? Fascinating story. Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, the new Dark Crystal series on Netflix is coming up. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend. How amazing was Agra? Like, when I watched the Dark Crystal, the Walt Disney children's movie, The Dark Crystal, as a child, I was fucking terrified, okay? I straight up got into horror movies because of that movie. I needed to face down my fears. I was like 5 years old. I was like, I gotta face this down, man. And I got right into horror. I refused to be afraid. So if you haven't seen the new Dark Crystal, I highly recommend. It's so important to have something good to watch or read or do, okay? You don't have to be a watcher or a reader. But it's so important right now to have that thing to look forward to at the end of the day or all day, okay? You got a whole open day. You're all by yourself. You have no idea what to do. Now you got to plan. You got to show. It's 10, 12 hours. You can't even get it finished in a day unless you focus. Okay, Okay, you got to get your food all ready, your cozies, your snacks. You want to keep the snacks relatively healthy. If you binge on junk food, you're going to feel like absolute garbage, so not as fun. But everything you could make yourself if you put in the time and effort, or make it just those, you know, add in those things that really keep you going in a healthy way. So for me, the hardest part of health, or 3 meals a day, or my body weight goals, being healthy, is the time and energy it takes to shop, prep and cook, dishes and cleanup and garbage. It's like a whole, I'm 3 meals a day at home is a whole ass fucking lifestyle. I might as well have kids with the amount of time and energy I put in just in the kitchen, you know? So do the thing that you need to do to make the day, the whole day, or the night, that part of the night where it's like, ooh, get my little 4 or 6 hours to myself here. I could stay up a little late if I want to and be tired tomorrow because I'm just chilling, taking care of myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, enjoy that process right now. You probably need it. Okay. Let's cut the deck. I can't remember if I cut it, so we'll cut it now. And get our bottom of the deck. Ooh, yeah, pure white. The pure white dragon from Orion. That's where we're starting. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Okay, wisdom takes time. This is a growth thing. You can be very young and very wise, and you can be very old and very not wise. Let's be kind and call it that. This dragon from Orion, pure white, tells us to process what we know, to act with truth and honesty. Purity, baby. Get that purity ring out. You need it. Let your wings of light grow and expand. So activating some wings here. What are wings? Well, you can look at them metaphorically a lot of different ways. Physically, wings are energy. They're also sometimes like a chariot. They take you in a direction to fulfill a destiny or a fate or something you're supposed to do. Some kind of an achievement, okay? So wings are typically there to get shit done. When you get an activation and you get wings, it's because you need to do something with them, or you're going somewhere, and a little bit of flight power, aerodynamics isn't gonna hurt nobody on the way. Okay, so we're activating white, typically, again, purity and healing, baby. So purity, honesty, and truth, focusing on the upper chakras, 51 on the clock, breaking down to a 6-6. As we say it. Again, the lovers, Gemini, 6-6, the 2 halves, the wholes. Awesome. Let's see what the dragons have to say about this. 11-11 portal, big activation energy coming in. I said it was going to be that alignment season, but a lot of us are going to activate things, which is great. Welcome to the collective. For some of us who've been doing this work for a while and we're fucking tired, it's going to be really nice when the troops show up, and that's what's happening right now. So I'm getting that feeling of the activation of so many supportive energies. Oh my God, as we get our card for the reading. When I looked at the bottom to see if we had cut the deck before we started shuffling, this was the dragon that was there. So I love that the rainbow dragon is now going to be our theme for the reading on the bottom of the deck, because we did get our card. Rainbow dragon brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. Rainbows, the sunshine after a storm, this beautiful childlike energy. It is joyous, it is innocent, it is pure, which means it's full of power, over the brim, over, you know, full, the amount of energy and power coming off of this. So I really like that. Have trust is what this dragon tells us. Rediscover wisdom. Wisdom's going to be a big focus here. Expect miracles and accept opportunities. I heard, even though it says accept miracles and expect opportunities, nope, other way around. That's how I heard it, the way I just said it, which is the opposite. Expect and accept and accept and expect. Okay? Okay? It's a receiving kind of energy, a receiving kind of energy. And to go with our other oracle card, gold and silver, violet flame. Violet flame's a big healing energy. It's big, and it's like I call sometimes the trial by fire energy. the prelude to the violet flame, okay? Because trial by fire, really, it's like when we've gone so far down a path that attached things to us that weren't ours or weren't for us or weren't for our benefit moving forward. We're going to need to heal from that. But first, we need to cut out, cut off, burn out, burn off, trial by fire, baby. And then after that, violet flame healing, because violet and violet flame is spirit. You know, that's the type of, you know, energy where it's like, what does keep my heart beating? Certainly not me. Okay. Certainly, I did not stitch this in any womb. Like, I will give full credit to creator for that, because what the fuck? And this is the same, this kind of energy and healing that's coming in. It's like, you're going to want to give thanks for that. Interesting that we're in Scorpio season as we say that, because it is the season of thanks. Okay, great. Gold and silver. I was like, did I say silver right? Yes, I did. Gold and silver. Interesting metals. Violet flame dragon transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. Wisdom, baby. Wisdom and grace. That is the fucking feminine. It's time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. Look at the butterfly, okay? You see the butterfly in his little hand, and then you remember how we got the butterfly wings here, and then our white pure dragon talked about wings. Okay, so for a lot of us, I feel the responsibilities coming in, okay? We're leveling up. I'm 37, about to turn 38, and finally, I feel I'm at that point now where motherhood, whether I have children or not, the maiden phase, maiden, mother, and crone, the maiden phase is gone now. It's over now. We are in a new phase. And with that wisdom and grace, we can establish this phase. Okay, a lot of us need to focus in that arena on the feminine, because and masculine needs to focus on masculine. Feminine needs to focus on feminine, so that we can develop these energies in our strengths. Okay, if you are a male with strong feminine energy, nothing wrong with that, baby. You work in your arena, and vice versa, and all the others. Okay, you work in your arena. That's what you need to do. Okay, we are on to the tarot spread. It's time. I already know the exact deck that we are using, Tarot of the Familiars. It's my go-to, okay? It's my go-to. We got to get Kiwi back out here for another, a lot of the decks too, if you're curious about cards, since we're doing a tarot program, let me break it down. If you're curious about cards, a lot of the decks that I have, you can get them small, medium, or large. You can get them embossed, you know, like not a custom one. I mean, you can choose the one you want. I buy a lot of these small decks. They're little decks because I like being able to shuffle, you know, the way the tarot shuffles. If it doesn't feel like sometimes, then it ain't good enough. So that's the key. If you're thinking about cards, just feel what goes with you. Okay, feel what goes for you. And yeah, if you have any questions about tarot or anything, leave them down in the comment section. Feel free to do that. Be happy to answer any questions that you have. Don't forget the course, the free intro to the course or the program. We call it deprogramming. We deprogram your ass with the new program. We're going to reprogram your ass. That's how we do it. Anyways, the link for the free intro video is down in the description box. I'll try to remember to link it at the end of the video so it like pops up, you know, like right here. And it's like, click here to watch. I'll try to remember to do that. But I doubt that I'm going to get on my computer before I'm running off phones right now. I'm basically a nomad who's in one space, if you know what I mean. If you've ever been about that life where poverty is the first step to wealth, you know? Well, for me, it's like the 10. Been rich, been poor, plan on getting rich again, you know? I'm just kidding. We're always wealthy and we're always abundant. Are you breathing? Are you free in your heart? Do you love yourself? Do you really love yourself? Like really love yourself? Then you are abundant, my friend. time to do something with it. Okay, as soon as I get these cards out, I'm lighting another smoke. Just in case you get triggered. They're never going to monetize me. They are never. That's okay. And that's okay, baby. That's okay. Dudes. Oh, I just had a childhood friend, like literally childhood friend, like practically in nappies together, okay? Message me and be like, dude, I ran into your dad. We're not even in the same fucking province. I didn't even know she was in Alberta, but my dad's out in Alberta, and she ran into him in a fucking grocery store, convenience store or something like that, and pronounced his last name perfectly, Thibault, which is slightly French, right? And he goes, well, you're like the only person that's ever pronounced that. Everyone pronounces it for shit around here. And she goes, oh, my childhood best friend. Do you know Eboni and Nina from Kitimat? And my dad goes, my ex-wife and my daughter? Yeah, I know them. Bottom of the deck, theme for the reading to get us started, the Tower. I had a friend message me today and say, how long was that Tower moment supposed to last? I guess in her last reading for me, there was towers, and we talked about, I don't try to remember your guys' business. When I do readings for you, that's your business, man. Until we sit down again and then it's relevant, I am not going to remember your shit. Don't you even worry. I mean, unless I'm called to remember it, it's going. So guess she got a Tower moment. She goes, how long was that supposed to last? If you're watching this, Sonia, my girl, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. No surprise. Okay, we just had the American elections. Who is surprised that the Tower moment just came up? Who is surprised? Wisdom and grace, baby. Wisdom and grace as we move through this energy, because this is not a fucking joke. This is not a joke. We call it the game, right? Playing the game of life. First card out, the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Air. I love the 8 energy, as above, so below, all that, you know, Gnostic, Hermetic. Where do you want to go? Anyways, I love the energy of power, you know, and that's what the 8 is. But the 8 of Swords is a really blocked energy. So we're going to have to talk about the darkness. This is not some demon, some curse, some spell against you, okay? Nothing can touch you unless it is a part of you, for you, or you let it. And that's the truth. Now, let's not talk about being touched without our consent, okay? Let's not talk about the physical in that one, because that's a whole nother conversation, where when it comes to the Divine Feminine Alignment Program, baby, whatever it takes you to get to neutral, okay? Because we work from neutral into alignment, into activation, straight up, straight on to evolution. But when it comes to Divine Feminine Alignment, we're supposed to support each other in being neutral. That means all the pain, the fracturing, and the distortion that's below neutral, we're allowed to discuss, okay? So when it comes to grapes and getting, you know, touched without your consent, we will talk about that stuff other ways. Here we're talking about mental blocks, mental delays. Yes, there are fucking demons. Yes, that's a real thing. Physical monsters, we're gonna find out, because what was it in Jurassic Park? To a canary, a cat is a monster. We're just used to being the cat. Well, if dragons and griffins start flying through the fucking skies again, Pegasus, fuck off, then yep, we're gonna feel very canary-like very quickly. Very quickly. It's so funny. I was watching another, damn, all the readers just keep popping up. Isis Wisdom, again, here on YouTube. Isis Wisdom, and she was saying, the dragons, when the dragons come, okay, they're not going to come like mountains. They're not going to be the size of mountains. Are there dragons the size of mountains? Yes. Were there giants? Yes. Okay. Via Mama Isis. This is how she breaks it down. And she gets her connections from her Orisha and her priesthood and all the stuff that she studied, which I find fascinating, listening to other people from other places in the world, from other generations, timelines, wisdom. Let's share wisdom. She talks about the dragons coming back. She's like, don't worry. They're not going to come back flying around like fucking mountains. They'll come back in a way that makes you okay with it, makes you comfortable about it. And will there be good and evil in that realm? Yeah. Yeah, of course there will. Okay. go watch The Dragon Prince. Go watch it. If you need to prep or even be like, ah, fuck it, let's go into the woo-woo, into the conspiracy, the fantasy, the imagination. Let's see what these fucking kids are watching. Just go into and understand the concepts being put to you. Okay? And understand it like that, because mental barriers are a real thing for humans. For humans. For us. Are we mankind? Are we human? We're gonna fucking find out. And I don't think it's gonna be the easiest journey. Okay, I've studied and been crazy with the conspiracies and the open-mindedness all my life. And trust me, I will tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, this shit is not easy. It is not easy to accept. It is not easy to understand. Or easy to understand, sure, but there's no guarantees. Like, you can get all the masters, all the doctorates to be the best surgeon in the world, and there are no fucking guarantees. There are still exceptions to the rule being discovered every time they crack open a body. Okay? So we're starting with 8 of air. And even though it's sticky, it's real power. Second card out, Ace of Wands. Yeah, baby. And then another one dropped. Our third card out, what is going to be our central energy, because we do a 5-card spread, the 2 of Cups. Look at them over there, the lovers. This is a beautiful alignment of water. We need the pairing. We need the support right now, especially when it comes to, okay, so the mental space a little blocked. The body is willing. Oh, the willpower, the desire, the excitement when it comes in, so strong and so real. And that is allowing this solidification of the alignment of the heart space. This is aligning real desire. And it comes through fire, which, hell yeah. In Scorpio season, we love that. Like I said, we're going into Sagittarius season in 2 weeks here with that full moon Gemini. We're going to be bang right into Sagittarius season next. And then it's Christmas, baby, winter solstice. And there is no more fucking around. It is death season. Okay, it's time to hibernate. So this kind of alignment is beautiful. That's, in my opinion, exactly what the winter season is about. It's allowing the replenishment of the cup. Some of us will be taking a lot of action. You know, we came off of a lot of action. We're going to have a slow season here for a second while we realign or heal or get over some kind of illness or repair. And then it's going to be right back into it. You know, more action, more, oh, got the inspo, oh, found the resource, oh, this door opened, opportunities, opportunities, opportunities. Yes, I love that for us. So don't be nervous. Whatever you're looking for and whatever you need, that's what you're getting this winter. That's what you're getting. So far, so good. That's the message. A little bit of mental blockage, not surprising. We need that mental space. Okay, we got a whole bunch and only one of them is face up. 4th card out, card number 15, break down to the 6, is the Devil. Okay, so when we align, the light attracts the dark, baby. It always does. Is it going to show up as a test? Is it going to be temptation? Or is it just the classic distraction? Fear, doubt, anything to get you off that alignment, anything to make sure. Now on either side of our central energy, our 2 of Cups, we've got fire. The Devil, being Capricorn, is not typically fire energy, but if you take a good look at hell there, and the pentagram behind him, this is an activation for distortion. Okay, so we got to be very careful. Some of us aren't going to get much of a choice on what we have to face going into this season, and so be it. That's why we come together as the collective to support each other, to be a gang. Fucking angel gang out here. Okay? 5th and final card out before we get into our clarifiers. We got a few more on the deck to look at. I can't see them, but we flipped the first one and it is the 7 of Swords. Yikes. Okay, so somebody got taken. Somebody got recruited, you know, by that nefarious, some call him the enemy, the enemy. I don't know, I'm starting to call Jesus and Satan both big brother here. You know, it's the one you're scared of and the one you always run to. Influential, both. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is leaning into demonic energy. A lot of people read this. One of my favorites, Huron Tarot, Minopon Tarot, reads this as strategy, and I get it. The mental strategy, because we started with that Eight of Swords and now we're finishing with the Seven. So like, this is backtracking in a big way. Don't let your fear, don't let the blockage, the delay, instead of leaning into trust, don't let it pull you back. You know what I mean? There's definitely somebody getting taken here by that. It's more than a Ponzi scheme. I wanted to say Ponzi scheme, but I couldn't get it out. It's like, okay, it's more than a Ponzi scheme because we have the heart on the board, you know, and an ace of fire, no less. So there's a lot of opportunity with these two energies together. The Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups being central, being side by side. That's a 1-2 punch. That's a really powerful combination in terms of getting shit done, finding or receiving or acquiring people, places, and things, the resources you need, the link up you need. I mean, that's real fucking powerful energy. And right after that, you get Satan himself, you know, or the devil that be, because this doesn't always show up as Satan, but this time it is. You know, somebody got talked to, somebody got pulled in, you know, and off your side. You know, this is somebody close to you getting taken, you know, from you, from what you stand for. So be very, very careful about the energy around you. You know what I mean? Just pay attention. And when you feel somebody go dark, it's okay. You don't have to like cut someone off. You don't even really want to. You don't want to leave them out there by themselves if you really care about these people, but keep a close eye on them, because this is the type of person that could stab you in the back and then cry for the rest of their lives about it. Okay, careful. Two clarifiers here. Under the Eight of Swords, we get Page of Pentacles. Look at the three wolves howling at that full moon. I love that energy. It is a beautiful energy of collaboration. So again, when it comes to any mental blockages, delays, and whatnot, do not worry about whose fault it is. Know that you're not alone. Everything that everyone around you is costing you right now is meant to be expendable. Okay, so the things that you really mistrust, don't let that be because somebody's talking in your ear. Don't be the one that gets taken. You know what I mean by it? Don't be the one who pushes the truth in your heart that you know and you can feel. Don't be the one who suppresses that to get onto some absolute bullshit. It feels like you're being completely, I can't find the words, or they are, but somebody's being totally taken, you know, for a fool. I don't want to say it, but it's like for a fool right now, because they don't see the love and support around them, and they don't see how much power that they have. They're just like, oh, if it wasn't for you, I would be this, and if it wasn't for this, I would have that, and because of you, I can't this, and da-da-da, and it's like, you got a fucking wolf pack here, man. If you were a lone wolf, you'd have a lot less. What do they say? If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, no. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So that's what this is about. This is like survival of the fittest together. Together. Okay, under the Ace of Wands, I love that she's coming out. Major Arcana number 3. Big Mama herself, the Empress. Showing up as this beautiful, majestic horse and her baby. Like, yes. Again, the birthing season, the divine feminine creation energy. So being the vessel in the womb to create new life, and then literally ripping and tearing and getting that baby right up. So some of us are giving birth, you know, and it's going to be that big event, and everything is different from that day forward because there's a new life, and it's your responsibility to make sure it's alive. So a lot of different ways this is playing out in the collective: males, females, mothers, fathers, young, old. Okay, however we're doing it. And we're birthing new things and creating from those passions. There's a lot of energy here. There's a lot. The event is going to be impossible to not recognize. Okay, it's going to be a huge event. If you're kind of like, I'm not sure what that is, don't worry, you'll know. You're not going to like sleep through birth. nobody gave birth and like wasn't present in their body, okay? You'll know. The Page of Pentacles and the Empress, both earth energy, is our first two clarifiers coming out side by side. Love that. Again, the divine feminine energy. Yes, get grounded. For a lot of us, get grounded, especially with this being so much tumultuous mental energy. The tests are high. The temptation is high. We have to be very honest. And even if hurting somebody we love with our honesty is on the table, trust me, the cost is a lot less if you are fucking honest. Centrally, the Knight of Cups coming up to clarify the Two of Cups. I love this because the Knight of Cups has been coming up a lot in all the spreads that I've been doing personally, collectively, whatever. It's the Knight of Cups. And if you see him there looking all, follow me right down this path, it's absolutely gorgeous. He's the, you know, Prince Charming. He's the fairy tale man. He's the emotionally intuitive warrior. Shut the fuck up. Capable of killing, knows when not to. Aligned to his own masculine, feminine energies. Like, you know, he's all about it. And he's a lover. He's not a fighter. He's a warrior. So there's that capable skill set. But he's a lover. He's always going to try and choose peace. Choose love. Trust. Okay, so this is a big guiding force here coming in again for those of us who need actual physical people in our life to support us right now. Here they come to show us, to walk the path with us. Nobody wants to be alone. So if you've been feeling lonely lately, don't worry. This is the support you're looking for to walk the path. And some of us, that's just going to be the right show, you know, to make our hearts feel seen and loved and whole and understood. And we're going to find people in real life, and we're going to find our place on the screen or wherever we like to spend our time. Let's see what just fell here. A huge stack. It's a 5-card message. Okay, so we need 2 more clarifiers. The Devil and the 7 of Swords need to be clarified to finish our reading, but we just got 5 cards full out, and we always take that as a reading. So we got the Knight of Swords. Woo! The Queen of Cups. Interesting. That's got a messenger air. 4 of Wands. Ooh. 6 of Wands, creating a 10 of Wands energy. And the 7 of Cups. Well, no wonder we're so emotionally confused here. Let me take a look at this my way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, give me one hot second while we take a look at this message. The Knight of Air. No surprise, because we had the Knight of Water in our reading. We have the Knight of Air because there's so much air that's like not, it's very sticky. It's very prickly on the board here. It's nice to see the Knight of Swords and a Queen, and the Queen of Water no less, because we have the Knight of Water in our reading. It's nice to see the the Queen of Water as well. 4 of Wands, commitments and celebrations. 6 of Wands, success. 7 of Cups, confusion, or another form of success. So when we look at it like that, the quick message, the deep message here is that the alignment to what we truly want to commit to is going to come a lot more from the feminine approach to decision making. So basically saying, tapping into the emotions, right? Central energy is all water. It's 2 of Cups, Knight of Cups. So tapping into, yes, fire is relevant. Yes, fire is masculine. Yes, fire is the driving force. But if we're struggling to find the alignment, to find the activation, then lining up emotionally, allowing the mental space to become the warrior for the heart space, for the feminine aspect, so that we are no longer confused and we know what's for us. When you look at 7 cups and 2 of them aren't for you, but you are not aligned to your heart because you've been glamorizing or distorting, or people have been coming into your space helping you distort and you're allowing it, it's very difficult to feel out what's for you and what isn't. So what do you commit to? How do you appreciate the things that you've successfully done as warrior, as feminine, as ruler, leader, you know, all healer, friend, all of the titles that we want to put, mother, sister, daughter. You know, we want to feel successful. We want to feel that we are making people proud, that we're proud of ourselves, that we truly love ourselves. And sometimes to do that, it's as simple as lining up to the heart space. Again, letting the mental space be a warrior for the heart. That's what you truly feel. It's an honest representation stamp of exactly where you are. The things that you come up with under this energy do not have to be forever, but they do need to be said. They do need to be looked at. They do need to be committed to. Okay, that's a big message. And on the bottom of the deck for that little reading is the Two of Swords. So it really is about making that kind of decision. That's what the Lovers, Major Arcana 6, really talk about. It's about making the decision with your masculine and feminine in balance, in alignment. Not always easy, definitely easier said than done sometimes. Oh my God. Under the Devil, we get Major Arcana number 4. This is the Emperor. The reason I'm so excited is because on either side now of the central energy, we have the Empress and her Emperor. It's so lovely. With the Two of Cups, you see the Two of Cups in the middle. Oh my God, I just love it so much. So the Emperor, his Empress, and the Two of Cups in the center. I mean, the devil ain't got shit on this, because when we have real alignment, yes, there can be so much fear. There can be so much nuance if you see the new moon there. But this type of growth, this type of adventure, it's what we all live for. Okay, even as we saw Gold and Silver, Violet Flame Dragon talking to us about that level of healing. This is big mama, big papa energy. When they come together, they are unstoppable. This force is unfucking stoppable. I would love to see the Chariot out here for this. We don't ascend or grow and develop into this type of wisdom without massive amounts of trial and tribulation. Remember I was talking about trial by fire? We don't ascend like this without massive amounts of trial and tribulation. Okay, so whatever we're going through now, it's going to be a little season, because that's how the devil works. It's going to be a little season. For some of us, we're already getting on to the other side. We have another challenge coming, but it's nothing we can't handle. It's more about recognizing the way that people and ourselves are affected by those demonic forces, those dark, tempting, distracting forces. Okay, so it's about not getting distorted and understanding now with compassion and wisdom and grace how easily we can be taken off path. Wow, how did I know it? And again on the bottom, I love the way it's reading today. It's been a while, and I just want to thank you so much for being here and doing the work that you do on you, because that's what makes this so amazing, especially for me. I just get to witness, okay, and be the vessel, if you will. Final clarifier under the Seven of Swords. Are you ready for it? The Death card, Major Arcana number 13, Scorpio energy, not fucking about. If you see him there, sitting there, black and white, so sorry, storage issue, thingy cut out. If you see him sitting there looking perfectly content with the news he is bearing, okay, this is the thing. When people really get into their power or get swayed or influenced, that little chip in the ear or the idea, whatever it is, it's a choice. It is bottom of the deck, Two of Swords. It's a fucking choice. And we choose to be influenced, to grow, to transform, or not to. And that's the key. That's where free will is part of this game. Okay, so we have to be very careful right now with our masculine energy and what it's being influenced by. The energy and power around us in Scorpio season, there's a lot of it. Okay, death energy is Scorpio season energy. It's the season we're currently in. It's everything the beginning of this video was talking about when it comes to transformation, death and rebirth. Harvest season is over, and we only have what we have to get through the winter with. So there's a lot of acceptance, wisdom, understanding. Also the activation of a lot of fire, a lot of logic, a lot of practical solutions and team building exercises. Okay, so there can be a lot of fear, there can be a lot of doubt. What creates strength in us is the facing of fear, the cultivation of resources. So allowing the right things to come in and being able to discern the right things for us. So whether or not we're afraid, whether or not there will be suffering, it's making the honorable, honest choices. Okay, so we're going back to talking about truth here. You don't want to be pulled into the fight of your life off of something that was never yours, off of some kind of a distortion, or I know there's a lot going on in the world. We have a lot going on in our own lives. It's like, where do I put my focus? The thing that's calling the most attention is what is needed. And for a lot of us right now, that's ourselves. Believe it or not, it's not the elections, it's not work, it's not the bills, it's not the debt, it's not other people, it's ourselves that is calling. You know, for those of us who want the lover's energy and we want to be partnered up, you know, prepare yourselves. This is a hell of a season to ask for that kind of a thing, or to still be out of alignment when you've been asking for that for a long time. This is the kind of season that'll kind of just toss your ass into, you know, it's just kind of like, I see like the, what's it called? Catapults, where you're just like, whoo, fucking flying through the air. Okay. Like, okay. I love roller coasters and stuff. That point of the roller coaster where you've got zero gravity. We're getting you're not in a roller coaster. You're full on flung out of a catapult here. So that's fun and interesting. Make sure you're making honest decisions, real honest with yourself, okay? Because we had the blockages in the mental space, starting off with the 8, finishing with the 7. It's like you don't want to be making choices from fear or doubt or thirsty, desperate. There's so much good stuff coming out with the Divine Feminine Alignment program. I absolutely cannot wait to talk about all of that stanky energy, because there's a lot of it out here right now, and that's okay. No shame. We don't fuck with fear or guilt or shame. We move through it, okay? You don't keep the baby inside you. You push that fucker out. Or you kind of just like, and let it fall out. I don't know. Is that how you did it? How did you do it? Tell us your story. We're going to leave that reading right there. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It is lovely to be back. Expect much more. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You hit the notification bell so you get notified when new videos come out. And don't forget to check out EBINOTTI on other socials. Again, if you want to see things like recipes, other content. I'm not an astrologer. I follow astrology. So I share a lot of the alignments in the stars and what's going on. We do read for the moon cycles after all. And again, if you missed it, the next moon cycle coming up is full moon Gemini, which should be fun. We're not going to miss that one. I really hope we're not going to miss that one. I'm going to do everything in my power to be here for that one. Final look at the board. I'm seeing a lot of pairing. The Empress and the Emperor. Centrally, the 2 of Cups, the 2 twos, the 2 air signs on either side of the reading. Whew, it's a lot. So expect a lot of that companionship, mirroring, whichever you're kind of down for right now. Or whatever's coming your way. That's how it goes sometimes. You don't get to choose healing. Nobody would choose to be sick, you know? But we really discover a lot of wonderful things about ourselves and life and the whole mystery out here when we slow down. So try not to be too ungrateful if you get put on your ass this season, okay? We're going to leave that one right there. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Thank you so much for doing the work on yourself. The entire collective appreciates it, and I will see you in your next reading.